So now and finally now and only now are we ready to talk about design. I know that most people associate design with branding and only branding with design and vice versa. But there's so much to it, and you can see now how much goes into these branding decisions. Okay, but now that we are ready, I won't hold us back any longer. Let's talk about some of the design themes that I see often in girl or guy next door brand designs. And I'm going to show you a bunch of examples as well. So I see a lot of blues and browns, like salt of the earth, relatable blue jeans, dirt colored colors. Also creams, grayish. Grayish was all the rage in home decor recently. Natural textures like wood, craft paper, casual, sometimes a handwritten style. Round fonts without lots of sharp edges to keep that casual feel, approachable feel. You've also seen like a lot of related to the natural textures. So you've seen a lot of wood or like nature types of images. Those tend to work really well for your brand on the visual side. So here's an example of a brand. And again, I don't know if I mentioned, the examples that I'm showing you are not my designs. I'm using them as a teaching tool to teach you about what this archetype looks like. So you can see the browns here. You see some nice and rustic looking icons, which are very nice, like the eagle, the tools that this man uses to create what he's creating. And it says build a legacy. Very, very on brand for your archetype. On the softer side, here is a lighter colored version, but still you see like lots of wood grain, you see craft paper, sticks. These types of elements give people that feeling of not taking yourself too seriously, of being friendly, being approachable, because these are all very familiar textures and feelings for us. I thought this was clever. It's a ski shop, not in the U.S., different country, not exactly sure where, but they're using plywood as like a major pattern in their brand, and then also in the store, as you can see there. So how fantastic is that? Like when I think of plywood, I think about going to Home Depot with my dad, and my dad is he's like the typical guy next door, super friendly, great group of friends, doesn't try to elevate his status, is just hardworking guy, builds houses, and cares a lot about his friends and his family. So the plywood gave me those associations, those emotional memories, just by being incorporated into the design. You can see some of the not soft fonts, but you can see some of the round fonts here in this design. So they're actually quite bold, but they're very round, which makes them feel friendly. It's not something that's abrupt and super refined. It's casual and it's fun. And again, you see like some of these browns, they incorporate like a bluish purple, which is really nice. But yeah, I love this brand design. It's fabulous. You also see more like the craft brown paper too. Tends to be a reoccurring theme. Which isn't to say that you have to have craft brown paper in your brand design. That's silly. There's lots of ways to express your archetype through the design. I'm showing you a selection that I especially like, that I think embodies this archetype very, very clearly. So use the pieces that you like out of it, figure out how you're going to twist it and make it your own. And also figure out the ways that you're going to be different and that your brand is going to be unique. More examples, a little bit brighter colors with the red and the yellow. But the name, especially like the New Republic of Brewing, it speaks to like a group of people. The colors are fantastic. They feel very casual, very approachable. I do adore this brand as well, obviously, since I'm including it here. Now, to wrap this up, I have 6 color schemes to chat about briefly. Again, you may not see your exact color scheme here, but you might start to be noticing some themes. So the colors tend to be a bit muted in The Girl or Guy Next Door. You definitely might still want to pick a fun accent color. So like in the top 2 left color schemes, you have kind of like a bright coral and then in one, and then the bright tealy green in the other that you can use for like buttons and links and stuff. But the majority of the color schemes are muted because it's easy on the eyes. It makes us feel more comfortable. It doesn't challenge us visually. You also see a lot of the browns, the tans, and then the blues. Like blue always reminds me of blue jeans, especially if we're talking about like a blue, not a navy blue. And that's perfect for the perfect association for your brand archetype. Also, the fonts tend to be quite casual as well. You can also turn to examples from like industry or trades. There's literally about halfway down, actually there's 2. So there's one that's called Oil Field. That's the boldest one on the page. Very nice, soft. I'm saying soft again when I mean round. It's a nice round font that keeps it looking casual. And then industry, which is 3 down from there, actually it does have some straight lines, but it feels kind of industrial, as you might imagine, based on the name. So these are all good options for you in terms of fonts. And then some of the patterns or the themes that you might notice as you're looking at these is they're pretty, I don't want to say plain, but they're easy to read. They're accessible. They're not challenging people. They're not like a crazy script font that we can't even understand what it says. You're making choices about your brand design that benefits the greater community. You're not making it a challenge to understand what you're trying to tell us. So I hope you enjoyed this look at the design styles for your archetype. I can't wait to see how you remix it, how you build off of it, what inspiration you take from this training and incorporate into your own brand.